Welcome back, everyone. It's so great to have you here again on the channel. Today is April 18th, 2025, and I've got to say, what's happening right now is nothing short of extraordinary. There are some major developments coming straight out of the redemption centers, and if you've been following this journey with me, you know this could be a significant turning point. I've been closely monitoring the latest updates, and what I saw on the screens today is unlike anything we've seen before. This could very well be the start of a major shift in the global financial landscape, something we've all been anticipating for a long time. So let's talk about what's got everyone buzzing right now. According to trusted intel, there are now 17 different currencies that are showing real, measurable upward movement in their valuations. These aren't just little blips or temporary spikes. We're seeing meaningful increases that point to something much bigger. These kinds of moves don't usually happen all at once, and they certainly don't go unnoticed. For anyone who's been tracking or investing in these currencies over the years, this is a moment of real validation. Among these 17 currencies, 2 in particular are capturing the spotlight. Not only are they historically significant, but the numbers we're seeing today are giving them even more weight. First, the Iraqi dinar has long been the center of attention in revaluation circles, and today it's once again living up to that reputation. The latest reports suggest the dinar is positioned for a much higher valuation than anyone had expected. And this isn't based on speculation or rumor, it's what's showing on the screens. These updates are suggesting a major, meaningful upward shift in the dinar's value, potentially placing it at the top of the revaluation list. It's one thing to hear rumors or projections, but when you start seeing concrete numbers reflected in real-time systems, that's when you know something significant is underway. The Vietnamese Dong is also drawing serious attention. While it's often flown under the radar, many of us have always recognized its potential. Now we're finally seeing that potential begin to materialize. The Dong appears to be gearing up for a substantial increase in value. While the projected numbers may not reach the same level as the dinar, the trajectory is still incredibly promising. Based on what's coming in, it's poised to deliver strong, possibly life-changing returns for those who have been holding on to it and watching closely. But what really makes this moment stand out is that it's not just these 2 currencies making moves. There's a broader pattern emerging. We're seeing a whole group of currencies, not just 1 or 2, that are now reflecting exchange rates in the range of $4 to $7. That's a massive jump. And when you look closer, you realize these aren't just random movements from isolated markets. These currencies come from a wide variety of regions, places like Africa, Asia, and the Middle East, and they represent economies that are tied to natural resources, expanding trade networks, and new strategic partnerships that have quietly been developing over the past several years. All of those behind-the-scenes developments may now be culminating in this very moment. What's also worth noting is that the numbers showing on the screens aren't staying static. They've been shifting slightly over the past few days, some going up, others stabilizing, but the trend across the board is clearly upward. That tells us there's movement happening, there's adjustment in progress, and most importantly, there's coordination involved. These redemption center screens aren't accessible to the general public, but the intel coming from those with access has been surprisingly consistent. And that's a big part of why this moment feels different. In the past, we've seen excitement based on speculation or rumors. This time we're seeing actual data, actual rate changes, and synchronized activity across multiple centers. So what does this mean for you and me? If you've been holding on to currencies like the dinar, the dong, or even some of the lesser-known options on this list, this could very well be the window of opportunity we've all been waiting for. That said, it's always important to stay grounded. We don't have official confirmation yet from central banks or the IMF. No formal public announcements have been made. But the activity we're seeing at the redemption level is extremely promising, and historically this kind of behind-the-scenes movement usually signals that we're approaching the final stages of preparation for a public rollout. Now, here's what typically happens next in these situations. Redemption centers are usually the first to receive updated rates. They start processing early exchanges for specific groups or individuals who are part of prearranged agreements or private contract groups. After that, the opportunity usually opens up to a slightly wider audience, sometimes referred to as the Tier 4B community, before eventually becoming available to the broader public. If you're someone who's been waiting for your moment, this is a great time to make sure everything is in order. Have your paperwork ready. Make sure you understand the process and be prepared to move quickly but thoughtfully when your window opens. There's also been some talk that the rate you receive could depend on a few factors. Things like the type of account you're exchanging into, whether you're planning to reinvest into humanitarian projects, or even how long you've held the currency might influence your final rate. These aren't confirmed across the board, and they can vary by region and by redemption center, but they're definitely worth keeping in mind as you prepare. I want to take a moment to be very clear. None of this is financial advice. I'm not telling anyone what to do with their money or their currencies. I'm simply passing along what I'm hearing from trusted sources within the community. But if even half of what we're seeing turns out to be accurate, we could be standing on the edge of something truly historic, a financial reset of global proportions. And what's even more exciting is that it might not just benefit institutions or governments this time. Everyday people like you and me, could actually participate in and benefit from this realignment of global wealth. As we move forward, I want to encourage everyone watching to stay calm, stay informed, and keep doing your research. Don't get swept up in the hype. Timing is everything. Wait for confirmation, rely on trusted intel, and avoid making major decisions based solely on speculation. The next few days or weeks could be incredibly important, so being prepared, mentally, logistically, and financially, is key. And for those of you who are just discovering this space or learning about currency revaluations for the first time, now is an ideal time to dig deeper. Educate yourself on the history behind these opportunities. Learn about the economic changes, the geopolitical shifts, and the strategic alliances that have been forming quietly in the background for years. These revaluations are just one part of a much bigger picture that's reshaping the future of global finance. I'll be keeping a close eye on everything as it unfolds, and will continue bringing you the latest updates as soon as I get them. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single thing. We're in this together, and I'll be here every step of the way to help guide you through what could be one of the most important financial moments of our lives. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, opportunities like this don't come around often. Be smart, be prepared, and stay ready. We might be standing at the edge of a truly life-changing event, and it could be just around the corner.